I took the train this morning to Plumstead, just to give you a flavour of where Plumstead is for those who don't know. It's in the borough of Greenwich. It's between Woolwich and Abbey Wood. It's quite hilly, actually. I'm standing on Winds Common at the moment, and as you say, lots of birds. There's a dog looking at me quite intently at the moment. I've seen lots of cats this morning. I've seen foxes chasing the birds, but I've seen no peacocks. So my first stop after getting off the train was to walk along Plumstead High Street. I hopped on the 96 bus and I thought I'll go to the police station. Detective Lowe is going to find out once and for all, have law enforcement got involved at any point? Have they had any sightings of said peacock? And I've got to say, I was very nearly laughed out of the police station by the two women on duty. They were looking at me like I was mad, and I said, I promise you, I'm not drunk, I'm not intoxicated, I'm genuinely looking for a peacock. And they said they have been listening to the radio all night and they have not discovered or heard any reports of peacock sightings overnight.
We've sent Harry off to the owner's house to see what he can find. Harry, detective, what is the latest report in your sleuthing?
Salma, I can see a peacock.
Where is it? Is it where? What's it doing? Oh my God, talk us through it, Harry.
Unfortunately, it's not alive. It's a statue of a peacock, which the owner of this house erected in a bid to try and attract Percy McVicar Peacock back to his property.
Oh, so that's his name, Percy McVicar Peacock.
Yeah, McVicar, I understand, a little bit before my time, was a robber who escaped in the 1970s.
Appropriate.
So that's why Percy's got his name. I'm standing outside a very large Camelot castle, it's called, and there's a blue plaque here which says David J. Courtney, born 17th of February 1959, amusing raconteur, prolific author, and infamous mucker, it doesn't actually say that, resides here. So shall I walk up the front path, Salma, and knock on the door and see if we'll get a word from Mr. Courtney?
Yes, please. Get yourself up that front door, yes. There's
a sign here. It's an incredible place, this Camelot Castle. It says, it's nice to be important, but more important to be nice. There's 3 lions on the white walls here of this very large, well, it is a bit like a palace. And, of course, the peacock. There's 2 Union Jacks. And there's a large mirror as well. So let's see if Dave's here. There's also a man with a shotgun outside, so I've managed to get... hello, Dave. Would you... yeah, I'm all right. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, doing very well. Bit cold, we're all right.
Yeah, we're live on BBC Radio London. We're looking for Percy the Peacock. Have you seen him?
Well, so is everyone. So are we looking for Percy the Peacock. I haven't seen him for about a week and a half. No, I haven't.
What happened? You're the one who brought the peacock to Plumstead, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, the truth being, I really didn't know that they could fly. I know that sounds ridiculous, it's a bird and all that, but I had no idea it could actually fly. And we've got a big, massive pen built out in the back garden for it. And I brought it home, and I was expecting it. I have quite a lot of parties and things here, and I was expecting the peacock to be running around, flicking his little tail out and peacocking like they do. And as soon as I let it out of the cage into the pen, it just promptly flew up onto the roof of the garage, flew up onto the roof of the house, run 50 houses along to the top of the hill, and disappeared. And I thought I'd lost it for good, but now on a daily basis it comes out onto the main road, has a little flutter about, slips into someone else's back garden. Me and Brendan are running up the road with a keep net, trying to chase it, and the mating call of a peacock, trying to lure it over to us. But it's not. I don't know whether it's a male or female peacock. It might be a non-binary peacock. Yeah, and we don't know what noise we got, but we're trying our hardest to catch it, and it comes out. That's the odd peck of people's cars. They've got the school at the top of the road. When it's out onto the main road, they bring class loads of children round to see it, you know. And we've been running up and down the road. I've worn out 2 pair of shoes chasing it, but I can't get within 10 foot of it because it flies off. But I must admit, whoever is looking after it and feeding it is definitely feeding it or giving it steroids, because it's huge. It's as big as me. It's chunky and looks very, very healthy. You know.
What's the closest you've got to it then since it escaped?
About 10 foot. About 10 foot.
And could you describe? We've had a quick look in your garden. If we could just describe it. I mean, we're going through the apps. It's massive, this place. Salma, it's unbelievable. The Camelot Castle. There are guns on every wall. There's knives, more knives than I've ever seen in my life. We're walking through the library. Is this this is a library? Yeah, suits of armour, screen masks,
Harry,
telephones.
I understand Dave's a little bit of a gangster. I'm not saying
Dave,
that.
you are a bit of a gangster, aren't you, Dave?
No. I might have been a bit naughty when I was a young man, but
There is a Charlton Athletic pool table, which I'm obliged as a Charlton Athletic fan to mention. It's absolutely fantastic. But Dave, for those who don't know, what is your past? Ex-gangster?
I suppose ex-gangster would be described, although the word gangster is a very historical word. Yeah, it's a romantic figure of the past, gangsters, like knights in shining armour, cowboys, pirates, gangsters. There is no more. You can't chase that. Today, definitely is not the time to try and be a gangster. You know, you're not trying to beat Sherlock Holmes policeman anymore. You're trying to beat technology, and you can't do that. So, you know...
And we're walking past a mural of lots and lots of famous gangsters. Yeah, go on. You've got to see this to believe it, Salmo. There is an absolute... On the side of Camelot Castle, next to the Union Jack flag, is a mural which stretches the entire size of Camelot Castle. I can see the Cray brothers on there. Who else is on here?
Twins, Lenny McLean, Joey Pole, Charlie Richardson, Ronnie Biggs, John Gotti, Roy Shaw, Freddie Foreman, the Cray twins, Howard Marks and Al Capone. They're all up there.
And who's in the middle of it all?
I'm afraid that's Dave Courtney. Now, why did you say that? Why did you say that? And I'm stuck right in the middle of it, me and a bunch of mates.
I got a lot of respect
Come down here, we go past the barbecue area, Cemetery Lane. This is all done. This is supposed to be in a Spanish theme.
Oh, it's like being on the Spanish Riviera, yeah. Woolwich Road, Pett Street, Cemetery Lane. I mean, I could be on the Costa del Sol, Dave.
And if we look over here, you've got to say that's not 50 foot by 30 foot, 20, yeah.
Yeah, so Salma, we're at what was supposed to be the peacock pen, but...
Peacock pen, yeah.
So just describe your plans for this peacock before it disappeared 5 minutes after arriving.
You're a funny man. What a funny man you are. That was it's going to be his home. As you can see, the walls are 12 foot high. It's a Harris fencing, and it must be 50 foot there by 30 foot square. We've got the bowls for it to drink out of, like a very big dog kennel for it to live in, extra dog, you know, you can move a family into it. And that was going to be where it lived. And at the parties that I have here, I've got a little nightclub at the bottom of the garden. At the parties I was going to have it wandering about, showing off its feathers. That would be quite cool.
And you bought lots and lots of peacock food as well, didn't you?
I bought loads of things, yeah, worms, grapes, and, you know, it was going to be living in luxury. This was peacock paradise, this was going to be. If only he knew. Perhaps he doesn't like my choice of music or something, I don't know. Yeah, surrounded by Union Jacks and statues, and you've seen big other peacocks, you know.
Genuinely, are you hopeful that you might one day be reunited with Percy?
I'm hopeful, but in all honesty, whoever's looking after it, it must just like their house more than my house, because it's actually in the same road as but about 50 houses up the hill, where they've all got low back gardens and it can just bounce around. You know, there was one of the biggest shocks of my life when it actually took flight. Yeah, what a fool I feel, but I didn't know that it could fly.
Why a peacock?
I really genuinely, my mouth dropped. I was like, wow, and it flew from here to there, from there to there, and from there to the roof of my house, and then just ran along all the roofs, and it was gone.
What possessed you to get a peacock in the first place?
Oh, they're a pretty bird, aren't they? They're a beautiful-looking bird. I don't think it takes an awful lot of upkeep. You don't have to walk it, and you just have to.
That's what you thought, Dave.
Yeah, it turns out it's a bit more difficult than that, doesn't it?
Well, they've named it Percy the peacock, and it's now called McVicar. Percy McVicar Peacock. It's got its own website. It's got its own Facebook site.
Yeah, it's got a Facebook page, and their
Amazing.
sightings are on there, but we haven't actually seen... well, you haven't. When did you last see Percy?
Last time I see it was about a week ago.
So I think...
Yeah, but it's a bit cold, so someone's supposed to have got it pugged up in their shed now, and... You know, every time I see it, it is bigger.
What's your message to the people of Plumstead, then?
Keep looking after my bird. If you see my bird, look after her. Right? That's my message. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because every time I see it, it looks more healthy than the last time I see it. I'm quite distraught. Girls' birds normally like to come to this house and stay here for a lot longer than they're invited. But that's the first bird I've had that's ran out of here after 5 minutes and never ever returned. and most of them the prettiest.
There you go. Thank you, Harry.
Dave, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Salma, I'm afraid, although I haven't seen a real-life moving Percy the peacock, the closest we got is the statue out front.
Well, there you go. Harry, thank you. Dave, thank you so much, Harry, for going around Plumstead. We sent you scrapping around all the streets looking for Percy McVicar peacock. No sign of him. People of Plumstead, as ex-gangster Dave Courtney just said, if you see his bird, do look after the bird for him, won't you?